Welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel, Smashing Sketches. I'm going to go through my latest sketchbook flip through. I have 25 sketches from my trip to back home in Malaysia. I will flip through and I'll tell you the story and maybe read out some of the poem as well. So this is the first sketch that I did. Of course, this is from Changi Terminal 1. And I wrote a haiku for this one, and it goes something like this. The title is Changi's Gate. Changi's Gate embraced, homeward bound, old ties renew, New Year's joy unfold. One of the things I really appreciate is the efficiency of Changi Airport. You could literally get in and out in under an hour. You fly off, arrive and check in and get through immigration. Of course, I don't recommend that you do it. Sometimes there's just a big crowd and you may not be able to make that through the gate. But the efficiency of the airport is amazing. The plane that took us from Singapore to Malaysia happens to be called Ong Lai, which it's kind of like a pun in a Hokkien term, means pineapple, but it also means the arrival of fortune. Ong, as you know, is my family name. Ong we take, that is. And so, it had so many puns to this one. So I wrote my haiku as such. The title is Ong Lai. Let me read. Ong Lai soars high. To kin and friends we fly near. Fortune's tsunami. When we arrived in Kuala Lumpur International Airport 2, I was starving, so we had to walk around, and my wife wanted to look for something that she wanted, but anyway, we ended up at this place called Achong Laksa, and it's pretty good. I mean, I was hungry, so anything was good. And of course, those made it into the sketch. The haiku I wrote for this one, I'll read it, is titled as Achong's Laksa. Metal bird descends, stomach begs, hunger pangs roar loud. Achong, savior found. And after that, we head out to the hotel. We were staying in Setia Alam, which is a part of Shah Alam, which is the capital of Selangor, the state of Selangor in Malaysia. You have already seen this anyway in the previous video which I've made. If you have not, I'll put a link right here for you to go back to that video, which I did a sketch of this and I show how I colored this, although I didn't show how I draw it. I love to draw bottles, and when it's organized and arranged nicely, it just gets me, and I can't stop, can't help but sketch it. Let me read the haiku for this one. It's titled Bottles. What an original name. Glass whispers sweet poison. One sip, then two. Control fades fast. Moderation is bliss. I don't drink a lot. I'm a social drinker. And so, a glass, maybe two maximum, will usually puts me to sleep anyway. But I do enjoy one glass or a small dose of alcohol. That's all right. And then of course the next morning we start meeting up with family and so on. We had bak kut teh, which is a traditional sort of herbal pork dish in Klang, which is very famous. That's where I'm from. This is one of the shops that we go regularly to, Lai Chun. The title of the haiku is Lai Chun Bak Kut Teh. It goes like this. Lai Chun's broth simmers deep. Generations stir the love. Roots bloom in each sip. The shop is run by a couple of generations, I guess the parents, and I can see in the next generation, I think they're sisters, they're helping out in the shop. So that's why I had generations stirring the love of the bak kut teh broth. The next sketch is just a little bit more of the tea. The tea component of the bak kut teh, literally it means pork, bones, and tea. It's the three letters that make up the dish that's famous in Klang. And without tea has no meaning. Tea is what you sip, and as you savor your lunch or dinner. In this case, it was lunch, and yeah. The thing about this dish, bak kut teh in Klang, people used to have it for breakfast, and that's when they were hard laborers, they have a full meal with a big bowl of rice, and after they devoured that they're ready for the day's work. Right outside, when we finished our meal, we could see the delivery or the food delivery chap on the motorbike delivering coffee. And I think this is one of those icons of the day, where there's lots of all these delivery folks running around delivering food to wherever they are meant to be. As you know, the incoming, or right now as we celebrate Lunar New Year, it is actually part of a Lunar New Year that's celebrating the dragon. It's a dragon year, that is, and you could see dragon decoration everywhere you go. It's amazing. Every mall, every sort of restaurants or whatever, you find the decorations of dragons. Of course, when you have Chinese New Year, you cannot avoid the color red. It's part of the sort of culture of celebrating the incoming spring. Red in all its freshness brings a refresh for the year. And in some way, it also rekindles the fire in the heart, I suppose. The title of this haiku is called Giordano Reds. Bold ruby hues ignite. Mannequins stand bathed in hope's glow. New year, fashion blooms. I'm actually not a foodie, but my tummy may not agree. Sometimes I look at beautiful food and I just gotta eat it or sketch it, or both. In this case, these are Hokkaido tarts. Hokkaido's golden tarts. Across the seas, sweetness travels. Globe's taste buds unite. Of course, the tarts didn't literally travel through the seas, because it's not really imported tart. It was baked on site in Malaysia, but the recipe clearly traveled from Japan, because it's Hokkaido's golden tarts. I'm not sure it's from Japan either, but the name itself is Hokkaido's Egg Tart, so I presume it is. The mall where we stay, Setia Alam Mall, has a lot of amenities, and one of the things that we did this time around was to have this jelly-like dessert called Kuai Ling Gao, and it's a bit bitter. It's very refreshing. It's a bit of a quiet taste. If you don't really like it, it can be sort of difficult to swallow, but we love it, and it's one of those things that sort of we find refreshing. During the Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, you will find a lot of flowers, that's decoration, or even pots of plants and flowers, orchids in particular, very, very popular. Then we headed out for catch up with an old friend, Supao, and we were at Alexis at Bangsa Shopping Complex. And let me read you the haiku that I wrote for that. Alexis warm surrounds. Chicken split, laughter shared with friends. Seasonal joy unfolds. Well, the reason why I say chicken split is because I split the chicken up and shared it with my wife. Hence chicken split. Well, that evening on the 8th of February, we went on to Uptown, and we went to a place called Uptown Hokkien Mee. That's sort of a dish which is made of black sauce, as you can see in the photograph here. I sketched a couple of patrons that were dining just across the table from where we were sitting. Let me read you the haiku I wrote. The title is Uptown Hokkien Mee. Dark strands glisten thick, smiles bloom white, chopsticks fly, joy swirled in every bite. So this is a photograph, me, my wife, a couple of my cousins, and my cousin's boyfriend. And then I sketched my wife's cooking. My mother-in-law, who used to do all this breakfast cooking on the first day of the Lunar New Year, passed away during the early years of the COVID, I think 2020. And here's the haiku sort of in memory of her. It's called Mom's Kitchen. Hot wok scent the air. Echoes of laughter still dance. Mom's kitchen. Love lives on. Part of the ritual of Lunar New Year is to visit or remember the date, and some of the offerings that was prepared by the family. We went along, although we didn't take part in the rituals, being Christians and believer of the Lord Jesus. We wanted to be with our family, but not necessarily partake of the rituals. Although we did help out with some of the activities, on the fringe, if you like. So here I sketched the couple of offerings that was put on the table of the altar, and I also sketched the place that the ashes were kept. It's Nirvana Memorial Park in Klang. We discovered after the morning rituals, we discovered somewhere near Shah Alam we had a Cendul store, and we grew up eating this stuff, these green strands of dessert. We couldn't help ourselves, but we had to stop and bought a couple of bowls and have to devour it. The haiku goes like this: Cendul, which is the title. Shaved eyes whispers green. Gula Malacca's kiss so sweet, roadside joy unfolds. Gula Melaka is, of course, Malacca's palm sugar. It's in Malay, hence the word Gula Melaka. The main event of the Lunar New Year is, I presume, before the New Year itself, the reunion, when everybody comes back and have a reunion. This year, it's we had it in a restaurant, and this is one of the sketch I did from photograph. Of course, I didn't sketch it then, I sketched it after. The two promphrets that I sketched with a psychedelic background. I come from a big family, at least on my dad's side. There are 5 brothers and 6 sisters, so 11 siblings in all. And of course you have all your family politics and stuff, but anyway, we try to gather as many as we can for dinner for the reunion. After the reunion dinner, we gathered at one of my aunt's place, and she was showing off her adenium. I didn't know it was called adenium. We've always known it as fukui hua in Mandarin. They're beautifully made. They were made like bonsai, the way she cultivated them. Beautifully done. The next day, which is the first day of the Lunar New Year, it usually starts off with a vegetarian breakfast. It's a Buddhist practice, and I've had it since I was born, or 54 years ago, and my grandmother used to make those, but of course after she passed, my aunts carry on the tradition, and they continue to cook some and buy some. I think mostly bought, but they were all very simple vegetarian dish that are served for breakfast, and people just stream in and out saying Happy New Year and have breakfast and carry on with whatever plans they have for the day. So I wrote this haiku. It's titled Vegetarian Breakfast. Green feast on New Year's morn, aunt's love in each mindful bite. Traditions bloom anew. So on the first day, I spent time with my wife's side of the family. We went to a place called Annabelle for dinner. I'll show you a very interesting video clip I made that day itself.
Let's be for real. No, you're scared to fall in love, but I want you still. I could put in all the work, but I'll keep you from hurting. Baby, I'll always be here.
And then after dinner, we went to a nearby mall. It's one of the largest, most, I guess, new mall in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. It's TRX, Menara TRX. And we went walkabout, and this is a sketch of the Hey Tea at TRX. It's the only store in Malaysia right now, and it has a long queue. When it's hot and new, I guess everybody's interested to have a taste of it. Well, this year the trip back to Malaysia was a short one, and we decided to go back to Singapore on a second day. And this sketch is from the airport, and I decided to write a little haiku to remember the trip. Let me read it for you. It's titled Mini Lion Dance Decoration. Mini lion grins farewell. Festive echoes fade in lounge hum. Home calls, year turns new. And of course, my final sketch is from the airport, from KLIA, or KL International Airport, and heading home to Singapore. Let me read you my final haiku. Bumblebee takes flight. Cross the straits and cross the night. Last sketched, memories etched. Well, the name of the plane that took us home to Singapore was called Bumblebee, hence the haiku. And the little channel between Malaysia and Singapore is called the Straits, and that's why I say cross the straits and cross the night. I hope you enjoyed my meandering and my 25 sketches of Lunar New Year, and I hope you stay safe and stay peaceful wherever you are in the world. This is Teck. Goodbye for now.